Hey, so I came across a response video to myself. Um, Part of me is flattered because, um, I've made a lot of videos. Most of them don't have responses, so I'm actually rather flattered by that. I'm still in complete disagreement, but basically it's a response video to the video I made about Juche Revolution. Now, he is addressing a few points in which he addresses his perception of what my critique was. And I'm going to counter argue some of those points. Firstly, in the first video, I admit I wasn't entirely diplomatic. I wasn't entirely polite, but I stand by everything I've said, and I don't regret it for a second. Um, so my video here is a response to the points he's making, but also not just to him personally, but also his supporters, because I think they are equally gullible. Um, okay, first, so you said that I was criticizing the fact you have 9 videos. I've just looked at my video again, and I don't believe I mentioned that. Or if I did, it certainly wasn't a focus point. Um, you can have 9 videos and 90 videos. If you're talking about the same subject, it would make no difference. The number of videos isn't that significant. I mean, I've got over 1,000 videos. Some of mine have lots of views, some of mine have a few views. The number of videos isn't really relevant, and I don't believe I mentioned that point, so I don't really know why you're complaining about it. And if I did mention it, I certainly didn't make it a big focus. Okay, now regarding my challenge that you're living in the West whilst defending this regime, you said you can't go there for financial means. Well, that's fine. There's a lot of young people in this country who are financially challenged. I'm not going to attack you for that because I'm not that financially strong myself. But this is the thing. I do believe that you're a hypocrite. You're defending a regime that we can get on to the other issues that was brought about in a minute. But in the end of the day, it's pretty blatantly obvious that you're vociferously anti-West because everything you say in your videos is intended to defend the North Korean regime and talk about evil Western propaganda. In other words, the West are just complete liars, and the dear leader and his son, not sure what the official groveling title they give to Kim Jr., but no question about it, you're biased, 100% biased. Now, even I'm even to see people on the hard left defend North Korea the way you have. This is truly astonishing, and I believe that both you and your subscribers, the other people who challenge me, like Latino American something something, actually Latino American made a point on my video. He or she said, "You're disgraced for prompting imperialist propaganda and for attacking this young person's right to free expression." Well, Latino American, I have a message for you. Uh, Tell me where in the video I said he couldn't have an opinion. I never, ever said he couldn't have an opinion. I did attack his hypocrisy in using his free expression when North Koreans have none. Now, this point you made that it's a multi-party system, give me a break. China can also be called a multi-party system, but in China, all the so-called smaller parties are basically branches of the Communist Party, and it's more or less the same in North Korea. It is not a multi-party system. It is entirely under the same ideology of Kim Jong-un and his father and grandfather. This is indisputable. Do not patronize me, and do not I just find it incredible that I really don't know where you're getting your information from. I don't know where you never mentioned that in the video. I don't know what's happened in your life to make you go down this path of defending one of the world's absolute worst regimes. I still find it baffling. There is a point I want to make though. Um, this idea that because I'm attacking your views and because I'm attacking the system in North Korea, I must be a stooge of America. That's very misguided. Um, you can oppose one thing whilst also opposing another thing. So the idea that I slavishly back everything America does is utterly false. For example, I'm completely opposed to the cozy ties that both the United States and the United Kingdom have to Saudi Arabia. I have been very vocal on the British tabloids. And actually, if you bother to look at my videos, I've got plenty of them, you'll see that many of them are critical of certain Western policies and certain things going on in the West. So this caricature that you've made of me, that I am somehow groveling to imperialist America, is utterly false. Um, you, on the other hand, really are groveling to the Kim regime. You've got the little lapel. Can't see it clearly, but it looks like you've got a little lapel of North Korea. You've got a flag in the background. Do you not realize just how insanely subservient you are coming across? I can't comprehend. I've never seen anyone like you. I've never seen a Westerner so well. I've heard of other Westerners like this. For example, Matthew Taylor, and this may serve as a warning to you. Matthew Taylor is a young American who, just like you, was subservient in his worship of the North Korean regime. So he went there. Obviously, his financial situation was a bit stronger than yours. He went there. He no doubt expected them to open a comrade with open arms. No, he found himself in jail as an American spy. So if you actually had the guts to practice what you preach, assuming that you had the money and you went there, you would find a nasty surprise. They wouldn't welcome you with open arms. You know, you will find that you will be jailed as a British spy. Doesn't matter if you praise Kim Jong Un. This is a regime that does not care. Now, there's other points. As for North Korea being a free country, that's a gross insult to dissidents, like the young woman who is 100 times braver than you, who has detailed her harrowing experience. I'm talking about people who were starving so much in the gulags that they had to eat tree bark. And you're defending the regime that caused that. You know, you may be diplomatic and you may be quite good at putting your point across, but that doesn't change the fact that you're so utterly, utterly, utterly wrong. You may as well be in the 1930s defending the Third Reich, because I find that people like you are so obsessed in your opposition to Washington or London or whatever it is, that you will stoop to the extent of defending a regime that is widely renowned as one of the very worst. This isn't just American propaganda. You can even the Chinese don't trust North Korea. What does that tell you? So you can say it's all American propaganda, but when even their only ally don't entirely trust them, what does that tell you? So your little video, your counter video, doesn't really prove anything. You dare call the dissidents traitors? That sickens me. I find that utterly reprehensible. That you would call people who, in some cases, have been through torture traitors. As far as I'm concerned, the fact that they are exposing this regime shows that they care about North Korea because they want a better future. They're sick of it being isolated and they want the world to know just how horrendous it is. Now, you can call them all liars, you can call them all stooges of the CIA or whatever. Here's the thing: North Korea is not China. It's not a very powerful country. Militarily, perhaps, certainly not economically. So, my question is, why would the CIA bother getting so many dissidents from a country that is not that geopolitically important? It's not China. Now, I don't know where you form your views from. I don't know where you gather it. But for you to dare call dissidents traitors, I find that reprehensible. And the same goes for your supporters. You know, you people may think that you're morally enlightened defending this regime. You just look like fools. You just look like glittering fools. And believe me, you're in a big minority. Now, sometimes the minority is right. But on this occasion, the minority is plain naive. And I really, you know, I appreciate you don't have the money. And that's something that a lot of people find themselves in. I don't have a limitless supply of cash, but I stand by my challenge. I stand by the point. Because you're taking the freedom of expression that we have in the United Kingdom. You're the real traitor, pal, because you obviously hate this country. And by the way, in the last video I allowed comments. Um, and I've noticed that you blocked the reply section of your own comments. Now, that doesn't sit well with me. You know, if you're going to make replies on my video, I'm letting you do that. Granted, you let me have my say on your video, but if you're going to make replies to my video, then don't block your comments in that way. So for this one, I'm going to block the comments because I'm not going to allow you and your supporters to spread your pathetic propaganda on this sick regime. Okay? Um, I've let you have your comments on the last video and you blocked the response part, so I don't see why I should allow you to further propaganda. Um, I find it baffling that no, I don't actually find it baffling because I think the far left, and you're no doubt far left, no question about that, are so. I really would love to send a few of you to some of North Korea's gulags, and then I'd like to see the praises that you sing of this evil regime, this evil regime. If that offends you, I couldn't care less. You're offensive to humanity. I'm talking about your views. And I would love you to meet face to face some of the young dissidents, same age as you. You call them traitors to their face. You listen to the experience they've went through, call them traitors to their face, and tell them you're a Westerner who grovels to the Kim regime. You're a slave to the Kim regime. How do I know that? Because not a single one of your videos have you showed any objectivity. Not once have you criticized the regime. Not once. You've shown zero objectivity. And it's astounding, quite frankly. Now, you know what? I'm not going to block comments on this because then you'll just accuse me of being a hypocrite. I'll allow comments. But I will say one thing. Don't block when you write the comment, don't block the comment section below. Because if you're making points on my video, I have a right to reply to those points. Just as you reply to the points that I made on yours. So don't block the comments underneath. So just a few quick counterpoints. Um, the point about hypocrisy, I stand by that 100%. 100%. The thing about me, this was coming from one of your supporters, being uh, like for imperialist America. There's many videos I'm criticizing America. So that's a false claim, and it shows desperation by a desperate person. Latino American come up with a better argument because that was pathetic. Also, Latino American, never did I claim that Juche Revolution could not have his view. I happen to believe his view is repulsive, but I never said he couldn't have his view. And I didn't say you can't have your view either. And you know what? I'm entitled to my view. There isn't really much more I want to say. I don't want to spend a lot of time on you people because I think you're a disgrace. Um, and I think it's odious that you're using the freedom of YouTube, which, by the way, is an American company. Has that bothered to strike you as ironic? You're using an American company. It's registered in San Bruno, California. Why are you using it? Shouldn't you be using some sort of North Korean website? Oh, wait, they don't have any that is open to the wider world. North Korea being a democracy, who are you kidding? Who are you kidding? Utterly pathetic. As for my lack of etiquette, quite frankly, I really don't care because the issue of human rights trumps etiquette over fools who defend the worst of the worst. Does America have its faults? Of course it does. But you know what? People can openly criticize America on the internet. You can make a video criticizing America. You can make a video criticizing Britain. You're not going to be arrested. Go to North Korea, dare be a dissident there. You don't have the guts to do it, and neither does any of your pathetic little supporters. But if you did, you would find just how foolish you are.